So really broad agent pools from Fancy here. And for Bleed, it's going to be a very fast hit over to this A or to this B site to kick things off. Instant opening as Darion shuts down Suka. There is a push coming from the flank though. Crazy Guy's anticipating it, but yes I can. It's just that bit quicker. Playing that Astra like it's a duelist with Izzy also holding elbow. Darion good for a second of the round now. And as it falls into the 4 versus 3, yes, Fancy can use the 3-pronged attack here, but they need to win these Angels to make that possible. And for Yes I Can and, well, now for Fisio, Darion's going to try and run him down here with that frenzy. That's his 3rd of the round. Killers only good for 1, leaving it all onto Yes I Can. The Astra Duelist, let's see if it can be converted. Good for his 2nd now. There's still 2 more to worry about. Remember, the low HP on Darion means that this is by all means doable. As he spots out the 1st, he hears the 2nd as well. Suddenly, this is very doable now. A 3k from Yes I Can on the precipice of making it 4, but time doesn't favour him. Darion.
Hookah, as the rest of them start to push in from B long, and here we go. All the util coming out now. Suka's actually managing to shut down Crazy Guy, but here we go. Here is the Empress indeed being popped, and Juicy waiting for that flank to come through. Potentially going to have a little bit of an aggressive one against Suka here as well, who is held back even longer. And this is really unfortunate for Fancy, because think about how the timer is ticking for them now. All that util being used to just hold that approach from Hookah. Beautiful shot there by JH as well. Nizzy falling down. The Fisio Viper on Fancy looking to make it work, but Darion has something to say about it as well. Suka still having difficulty getting into this Hookah area, but there we go. They managed to get 1 there onto Juicy, and they get a few more. Darion's at the back of sight. There's another one. Prowler going out just to off even more as they pull back a little bit. So that's already a bit of a better start here for Fancy, but they've instead been able to take this A site because they've been so busy trying to contest that push around B. Now it's a very uncomfortable retake, but they do have an extra player, so this could be better. Just holding at those angles and trying to make these gunfights work for them.
You're absolutely right. Awful Strike gets suspended. That's going to buy even more space now for Bleed, who at this point actually can just run for the time. With the molly going down as well, it's going to continue buying so much space for Bleed here. Over in heaven, Suka tries to finish off Darion, unable to do so just yet. And Darion, realizing that time is the real objective here, is backing off the train to time. It's all on Juicy. 1, 2, 3, on for the 4th, and he lands it! A little bit quieter. As the plant goes down, Bleed on path to make it 7. Showstopper comes out from Juicy. However, the suppression from the KO is just perfect now. The null command pops. A man advantage for Fancy. Can they convert this? Through the smoke, Fisio chimes in. This is while Nizzy and JH are both able to trade elsewhere. It's all on Crazy Guy. 1v4, the new addition to Bleed. Can he rise to the occasion? No, he can't.
He can scrap that out even more and bring this back to 6-6.
We are playing quite a bleak picture, but let's be honest, right now, Fancy are still only a couple rounds in. I mean, hey, Killers may have found a stride. Darion and JH, the 2 top fraggers from Bleed, being removed. That's a great start now, with Suka chiming in onto Juicy. Suddenly, Crazy Guy and Rettler, they're the last ones left standing, and there's still a good 80 seconds left of this round. Rettler's got Fisio to worry about, though, for the time being. And this opening could allow Bleed to rotate, but with both players so far apart, trying to get through these positions is going to be a nightmare for Bleed.
Trying to take a bit of a chance, or maybe go for util bait. That could be quite decent. Maybe get a few free frags. So there we go. At least both players are aware of where each other is, but gonna see a fast rotation there as they do try. Oh my goodness, a 2k there for Rettler, just cleaning up shop like there's no tomorrow, but that was a little bit silly. Sausages, Nizzy ready and waiting, is gonna collect that kill for free. And now poor Crazy Guy is in a 1 versus 2 post plan. There we go. Take situation right now, but certainly that's in a bit more of a favorable position. Just again, all about these angles. All of these angles that are currently pretty much held off by that util. Beautiful ulti kill there by Darion. Crazy Guy and Juicy get 1 apiece. Yes, I can! Cleaning it up though. 2k there. Juicy and Jay falling down. The Cosmic Divide gets popped and
take
things a little bit more. Beautiful jump there, but yes, I can. To get baited by it just yet. Where things could get interesting.
I know exactly.
Instant back and forth here. Killers only good for 1. And that neural theft doesn't have many players left to ping, to be honest. Bleed, I think, hit that site a little bit more successfully than they were anticipating, Grace.
100%. There's 1 over Nizzy. There's 2 for Nizzy. There's 3 for Nizzy. Oh my goodness, the cleanup of Dreams. Juicy left now, and there we go, a 4K. That was just...
For a second now, Darion, he's spotted out Fisio. He knows he can outflank this position. And in fact, knowing about this, he knows that Fancy are going to have less defenders on this site. Rettler tries to push forward as aggressive as he can. Darion now good for one of his own now. It's on to Nizzy and Fisio. Fisio from the flank, good for a first. Nizzy's able to chime in as well. Down to the 2 versus 2. Rettler on the follow-up leaves it all onto Nizzy. He's overwhelmed. Crazy Guy delivers that flash as their main entries as well for Fancy when Killers falls. Fancy seems stunned. Yes, I Can is able to trade, luckily, onto the smoke of Bleed. Remember, this is Bleed's bonus now. Fisio, he's getting swarmed now. He needs to back off. The paint shells are by so much space here. Fisio in danger. Can he escape the shells? Yes, he can. 2 quick kills bring us to a 4-on-2. But Darion is still very, very much alive, which may make this retake have a... still have potential. Darion swings out, spots out Suka, who will quickly lay him low, dispatching of the headless huntsman of Bleed. And now all onto one Spectre, 4 players to fight for Rettler. Bear in mind he's got the Neurals left next round anyway, so there's going to be no virtue in these exit kills here. The only thing he may be able to achieve is damaging the economy of Fancy. The Fancy are being mighty disciplined in this after plant. Rettler not even given an inch here. And as he backs off, he sort of ums and ahs about a flank, but no help, no lifelines being thrown to him.
What you can, it's what you can't see. And there we go, Fox going down. Fancy have managed to force that objective. Now they just have to hold on to these lines as tight as best they can. And there we go, beautiful trades coming out there. Killer S falling, but Rettler is traded out instantly. Darion deciding to go and get Bolshy with it. They're going out. Can they find these heads though? Again, it's a case of finding these 1 versus 1s as best you can. The crossfire's going out from Bleed. Fancy have to do something about it. There's one for Darion. Can they get another? Yes. Crazy Guy is going to take out Suka. Darion down but the timer is ticking. We're now 35 on the clock. And Darion, of all people, is ready and waiting for this collapse to come. It could be, and this could be a little bit of a, well, I say that, but no, Nizzy is going to shut down any potential of a bloodbath. There we go. The pick going in favor of them. That collapse is coming in thick and fast onto B as Fisio gets a pick down today as well. Renner's able to get 1. Killer S falling down. Crazy Guy gets Nizzy. And 4. We know it. It is a 1 versus 3. Poor Suka. There we go.
Through the box, it's going to be Killers, who does get harassed a little bit. But Crazy Guy, he's got no flash, unless Darion decides to push through as well. There's Suka good for the first. Showstopper on the beauty finished off Fisio. There goes that Viper's Spitz. The trades are perfect. It's a back and forth, though. Nizzy ready to flash through the smoke. On the low ground, he's got to be careful. And instead, it doesn't get half. I think timing may be enough. There's a swing. Nizzy good for the kill. And just like that, Fancy, they make it 8. Gimmicks, they can imagine. So the second they heard the tripwire get destroyed, double swing with Stingers. The second they heard the reload, just gun it. It absolutely worked beautifully. Darion now point blank, good for 1, 2. The orbital strike will finish the rest. And with that, Fancy find themselves pushed to a stop. GH is good for 1 more, and he'll get the last. They don't care about it. They just go for their straight hits away. Execution comes forth. Crazy Guy in heaven is the only one who can stop this. Shock darts lined up to potentially buy a bit of time. First one goes out, going to at least wound the planter. Suka now on just a mere 25 HP. However, as is Juicy, low on HP. And a relatively even retake now, with 3 members of Bleed getting ready to push through defenders spawn here. At point blank, Juicy able to recover on the Fisio. This is shine back. Both players able to recover it. Yes, I can. Left against Rettler. The frenzy at point blank, though, so the lack of firepower won't be hit too hard here. However, he starts to try and buy a bit of space. There's that shot starts to deliver that first kill. Juicy caught out in trade, though. The pre-fire from Crazy Guy, good for Nizzy. Killers gets the follow-up, though. Rettler continues fighting, though, but it's going to be Yes I Can to chime in. Rettler, once again, being the rock of Bleed.
There we go. The shot is whiffed, but Nizzy is at least going to be aware now that that's where that jet player is. And here we go. AH is able to get that pick onto Killers, but it's not immediately traded out just yet. I keep trying to find where these defenders are. There we go. Rettler taking out Suka. Yes, I can. Taking out Darion. Bit of a trade by trade. AH and Rettler taking out Fisio. Yes, I can. Nizzy gets 1, but they can't get. So we are going to see Darion on this flank yet again. Just very mindful that there may be util holding. Crazy Guy. They have the high ground, but again, it's such an awkward angle to be at. There we go. First being shot out a little bit there by Crazy Guy. The intel coming through. Nizzy trades that back though. Juicy will pick up their own onto Nizzy. Nizio, yes I can!
Ooh.
Absolute cleanup there, and it's poor Darian on the flank here.
Diffusing.
They get one, but there we go.
That's exactly what Fancy have needed. They found their rhythm and they are looking much better now. A lot of noise being made over towards, well, over towards Short. Crazy Guy good for 2. We'll try and make it 3 now. He does just that. And oh, make it 4. On for the ace now. Switches weapons, always fast and reloading. Darion as we go into our 11th. The ping is perfect. Juicy now already on the forwarded angle. Hoping for timing here. Doesn't quite get it. It's going to be tagged a little bit here, as is Killers. Juicy's able to get away. He's got the cover fire from his teammates. And for Fancy, that was a lot of worry for 1 point to the map. Nightfall comes out. JH is going to try and aggress off the back of it. The Cosmic Divide is really well timed. And actually, JH is considering going through it. No, he doesn't. He's able to chime in as well. That site's going to fall in control of Fancy. But Retler already has his lockdown in position to be used now. The Killjoy utility. This is going to land in the safe spots where the chamber's now hiding now. Crazy Guy in heaven. Going to try and kill them as they run. He'll do just that. There's the Killjoy utility. They've got to try and brave it. Darion already on the flank is making them suffer for it. Nizzy falls. It's all on Fisio. 1 versus 1. Hit by the Nebula. Retler ready to deliver the killing blow. The pre-fire. It's messy.
More rounds than they have thus far. They are deciding to go for that C site a little bit too late, in my opinion. This should have been, the focus on a lot more rounds, but there we go. Darion, little 2K there, put down by Fisio, but Retler is there for the immediate trade. It's a little bit of a run around the rosies right now, as Fancy are desperately trying to get that spike down. There's a pick onto JH. Nizzy, beautiful shot down to Retler as well. And that spike can go down. Desperately holding this angle towards Garage, but we see Crazy Guy on the approach here. At least that would have been called out somewhat.
Right here.
Last player standing.
Still duo coming through. Juicy! Beautiful shot.
Just strategy may have bamboozled Fancy a little bit now. The aftershocks and shock darts are going to leave Suka with only a narrow window to survive in. Luckily, he's seized by a bit of space, but they're going to continue trying to push into him. JH and Crazy Guy both land their kills. They get out of there in time. Nizzy, low HP, is good for the first regardless, though. Killers is swinging into 3 players, though. Good for 1, good for the second! He knows Darion's there as well. Darion, though, lights them up! It's all on to Nizzy. 1 versus 2. Taps that spike. They see it's clear. He's only got 30 HP. This is heroics after heroics. And for the heroism, it's just hell for Fancy. Even when they land their shots, it's never enough. The recipe is here for Fancy to strike back. Losing this would not just break the mental for the rest of this map, it would break the mental for Ascent as well. Darion, the only player with HP, is able to shut down Nizzy, reduce it to a 4v4, and look at the exodus that Fancy are making from this C site. This was Bleed's strategy all along.
100%, a little bit of the old bait and switch. Again, it's still a bit of a quiet before this one. Bleed are on a lot of unfortunate levels of HP, I will say. There we go. Yes, I can. Cleaning up Jay. Darion gets the pick on Eslo, and they're being nicely cleaned up now by Fancy. This is exactly what they needed.
Out of charges.
Alright, yes I can. He's going to be pinged back site though. This could be dangerous. Juicy swings out. Yes I can. Good for the first. Tries to double it down. Oh, he definitely can. He's got assisted by Nizzy, who's good for 2 of his own. Eventually Suka's laid low, but it's Nizzy from the flank. His chamber.
Rotating and descending there. Mountains of util. Ooh, beautiful opening engagements there. JH trading it back out though. Getting 2 there. Killer S and Fisio falling down. A 3 versus 3 already. I mean, we wanted aggression, and here we go. Nizzy just letting JH walk past him. What is happening? Crazy Guy falls down. A second one fell to JH as well, and that was a little bit of a stinky one from the side of Bleed. And can they get this final pick? Missed as well. Maybe Fancy had the same idea, or was just thinking that they were going to try and go for the rotate after they're held back. But Bleed are really sticking to their guns with the way they want to approach things. There you go, Fishy, a beautiful pick there to trade that back out. Redler falling down. That's all that Killjoy utility taken away from them. Beautiful shot there by Nizzy too. Crazy Guy falling. That's whittling down the attackers even more. But speaking of the attackers, JH taking out Fisio.
Concealment.
You see this rotation as well towards C, and I think that's a pretty safe bet as it's now completely open, ripe for the taking. These rotates need to come in thick and fast from Nizzy, Suka, and yes I can. Again, ideally stacking
Spike
up
planted.
in the best way to try and go for these pinches, these
want to
all-important
find it?
Teleport's
pinches.
ready.
Fancy know that they're on a match point. There's the Cosmic Divide going out as well.
Oh, Nizzy. Great bid for control there. Just dives through it to try and get some info. Juicy already at point blank though with the Blaze Storm. Actually, he's going to try and chase him. Spots out another player though. And now the second this Nebula falls, the second this Cosmic Divide falls, this is where the attack comes in. Aftershot's going to land. The Prowler doesn't quite go converted just yet though. Jay is good for one. Yes, I can instantly down on the trade. Juicy good for two more though. And
Let's go for the old Razzle Dazzle potentially. The Razzle is being dazzled. Can they get these free fires moving boxes under their belt? The little trades come through already. A second one there for the side of Fancy. Yes, I can get that pick. Trades are coming through. Crazy Guy and JH picking it down. Killeres, and yes, they can. Nizzy ready and waiting for a beautiful 2K. And this is exactly it, isn't it? I don't think Bleed expected Fancy to come for the jugular in the way that they have, but this is classic. Like, this is what we like to see from Fancy. We like to see them go for those aggressive takes, aggressive picks. Oh, there's a 2K at least.
Enemy
Okay,
remains.
there's a third. Can they get the fourth under their belt? 1 versus a 1. Again, if Jay can get this pick, that is a round win in his pocket. There's a lot of time to work with here as well. I think Nizzy being distracted a little bit there by the util, but also being very clever. No, there we go! A free game.
mad dash towards control of tree and short. Suka, Vandal in hand, the first point of contact. Has the headhunter to worry about. And for Retler, there's the opening. They know the second's there. Overwhelmed is Suka as Juicy gets the next kill. JH in mid finishes off Fisio. And now for Nizzy and Killers, they're suddenly running out of players.
Absolutely. Spike is firmly locked down. Bit of a rusty retake to have to do. They have decided to push it together though, which is a promising sign. Again, it is a 5 versus 2. You need to bait out these 1v1s, and I don't think Bleeds are going to let themselves be baited too easily. There's at least one for Killers.
Last player standing.
He's trading back out, and there we go. The rotation for Market is going to come through. That Spike needs to be committed, though, to at least put this into a post-plant. Killers, once again, on a little bit of a tear. JH falling down. Saving their approach. Yes, I can as well. A powerful duo to try and contest with when you're trying to hold for the post-plant. There we go. Crazy Guy getting that pick, but it was indeed the run it back. At least they're going to be aware of that. That's at least going to let Util off the table. Fisio taking out Crazy Guy as well. No immediate trade coming through just yet. There's so much cover on both sides. Being utilized right now. Try and hold this back. There we go. Yes, I can. Falling down. Nizzy as well. Trades across the...
For the close angle. Blade Storm's going to miss. I think he expects Fisio to be on this close angle though. And at point blank, Juicy gets that first kill. Retler's there for the follow-up. And now the push is starting to work well. Out comes the null command. Suka's good for 1, but he's tagged in the process. An instant plant from Bleed. And here's that change of pace, which works so well for them on their first eco.
Darian holding this very tight angle as well. Mindful of the approach from Heaven. But also be mindful that they don't want to be caught out a little bit too much again. Oh, well, that's a beautiful shot, and a certainly impactful shot as well. Nizzy trades it immediately. Backbow up in hand. A 3 versus 2. Suka and Nizzy desperately trying to find the heads of Bleed. Will this be Bleed's first attacking round into their pocket? Or second attacking round, rather. Suka. Head. Nizzy going for a pop shot around the corner, but JH and Retler.
It's just been avoided though, which means that it's all going to be on Fisio to hold this position. Up on Heaven, flashed off the initial angle, still passive for the time being. His shoulder wasn't spotted by Juicy. No, it wasn't. JH is good for the first. Fisio chimes in, but it's Retler to show there's an Omen diff. That plant will go